everyone, it's Marie. I'm going to be making a tag today instead of a card with this cute little stamp set from Brutus Monroe. And I'm using this stamp today along with some of these hearts just to kind of build a nice little background. This stamp is already in my MISTI because I have already stamped it out and fussy cut it just to save time. Here's what it looks like all stamped out. I will be coloring it, so I'll get that on video, but I just want to kind of build the background first of my tag. Now for my tag, I did not use a die or anything. I just cut a piece of paper and then I cut the corners and punched a hole. So I can show you how I did that with this card, this piece of paper. This is a piece of Canvas Corp Ivory paper. It's a really great cardstock to use for any kind of paper crafting. I'm just making a tag with it today. I want these tags to be the same size and shape. So I'm just following this little side here. Now I did cut that freehand my other time. So when you're making a tag and you don't have a die, just cut off a corner, then take that same corner, flip it, and line it up on the other side and follow that as a guide, and then you have two matching corners, and it's a super simple, quick way to make a tag. So I'm just going to throw those corners away and take my crocodile and punch a hole, and then you have a tag. So that's how I created my tag. I'm going to set that one aside. I'll use that for a different project. And on this one, I want to sort of build a background. So I'm going to take my small block, stamping block, and kind of stamp some of these hearts on here. Now I'm just going to be stamping randomly, so I thought it would be easier to use my block instead of the MISTI and just kind of doing it that way. Now I want to ink this up, and I have not used this stamp before, so when you're first using a stamp, it's a good idea to stamp it out a few times. Gives you an idea of what it looks like, and it also kind of primes that stamp so you get a better impression. So I kind of like that, so I'm going to go ahead and just sort of build a background. So when you are building a pattern background yourself with stamps, it's a good idea to even stamp off the side, so that way your eye kind of thinks that it's continuing. Gives it more of a natural look. Now I'm leaving a lot of space between these big hearts because I do want to come back in with the little ones later and fill in the spaces. And it's not going to be completely perfect, but I'm also going to be building a lot of embellishments over this, so I'm not too concerned. I just want to get that pattern in the background. So I'm going to keep stamping with these other hearts, and then I'll go ahead and build my tag. Okay, so I have this tag all stamped out. I like how it looks with the different sizes of hearts in the background. I'm going to start building some embellishments on top of it. I'm sort of pulling a bunch of scraps from my stash because I have tons of scrap papers and I just need to use them up. So I'm actually just using lots of them that I pulled out of my scrap bin, and I'm just piecing them together. So this is a really simple and quick tag that really came together easily. So I like this paper doily. I'm going to adhere it down right here. I think I'm going to be using this Tombow Stamp Runner adhesive to do that. So like I mentioned earlier, I have a lot of scrap pieces. I'm just going to layer these over here to make sure that I keep that hole on top open to put some of my, string or twine in there. And I will be trimming down some of these. So I want to bring in a little bit more of that pink. So I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of distress ink in a really light pink color. This is spun sugar. I'm just going to blend around the outside just to add a little color. Okay, so I actually had to stop the camera for a little bit because my battery was getting low, but I'm just going to move on to the next step and show you what I'm going to be doing. For my tag, I want to put a sentiment from this stamp set on my tag. Now, I already used this stamp set to create another project, so if you want to see that, I'll have a link up here. But I'm just going to use this little I love you sentiment. I don't want to stamp it on vellum, so I'm going to go ahead. I already have my vellum in the Misty here, and I have my sentiment all lined up, and I'm just going to use some Versamark ink and stamp it out. Alright, so here's my tag so far. I did go back and do a little bit more blending on this heart. I tried to do sort of an ombre look where it's darker on the bottom, gets lighter on top. I just wanted more pink on that. And then I have my little sentiment here that I embossed. And I'm going to stick that right behind these two, just like that. Now, I haven't decided if I want to color them or not. I kind of like them black and white with no color. I think it just kind of works with the overall tag with the colors. But one thing I think I will do is I'm going to take my Wink of Stella. This is not clear. This is silver Wink of Stella. And I'm just going to color in some details on her dress and maybe on his coat. Alright, so I'm just going to leave them like that. Just a little bit of gray. And the Wink of Stella, it has some shimmer in it. So I'm just going to leave it just like that. So I'm going to start assembling these little pieces. Alright, and that finishes the tag. Super simple. Just using some of the stamps and some scraps from my pile, but it looks like a really nice Valentine's tag, or you know, you could use it for Valentine's or anniversaries or engagements, anything like that. It's got lots of blank space on the back so you can write a personal message, send it in the mail, or just give it by hand or add it to a gift. So hopefully that gives you some great ideas for this stamp set. Go over there and check it out on Brutus Monroe, and I will catch you again in a future video. Thanks for watching. Bye.